All right, so cool. We're gonna start off class. School of Finesse. You can accomplish everything with a solid plan. And all right, let's cool. Why doesn't the black community take anything serious? Like everything is a joke to us, and it's crazy because I feel like laughing is a coping mechanism, and that's good because laughter is good and stuff like that. But when are we gonna start taking things serious and start having change and start evoking change?
Can I be honest?
What's that?
It's when we break out the mentality of being black. Like, what we don't realize, like I don't want to talk about this shit, but I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm gonna give you some shit that's in my heart and this in my spirit. When we break out of this black mentality that the world puts us in, what y'all don't realize, or what we may not realize, because I am black, right? It's a culture more than anything. Black is a culture. It's not your skin color. It's a culture. And what we have to realize is that we've been brainwashed and put into a matrix and put into a box to follow trends. Y'all ever realize that we follow all the trends? Oh, Donald Trump is president. He's a bad president. This, and that. Vote for Joe Biden. But nobody did their research. Most people in the black community only voted for Barack Obama because their parents told them to do it. Most of us, we follow these trends, bro, and it's so sickening, bro. Y'all, including myself, we have to do more study.
Yeah,
Stop calling ourselves black. Stop calling ourselves all these things that the world puts on us. Like I'm not saying stop claiming your people. I'm saying stop claiming a box. We are connected to God. We are God. If you really do your study, you realize that the first human being on this planet was black, right? But not black in the way that you think. They were indigenous. So if you really pay attention to all this shit, bro, we gotta break out of that mentality first. It starts with us. We gotta break out of the mentality of being controlled by the media, controlled by all the bullshit, skepticism, all the stupid ass shit, bro. Like, I know I might get canceled. People might think that I'm not black, but I realize that it divides us. We're so caught up in being real and following these trends and this and that we don't even understand ourselves, and we kill each other. Like, that shit's sickening, bro. Black Lives Matter. All y'all did Black Lives Matter, but we still out here attacking each other. What about Black Lives Matter now? They don't matter now.
Nah, yeah. So what's crazy is, so alluding to that, right? So I look at it like this. Now you good. Now, so when gangs first came out, gangs were supposed to be enforcement for the community against the police. So I feel like when Black Lives Matter came out, that was supposed to be our chance to stand up and get together. And like you said, we have so many labels and things that we just like to put ourselves underneath and just go with because, like you said, trends and it's so
we do no
much
research, bro, and it's so sad, much. Bro. It's sad because we go with the flow comes out, they just follow it, bro. Like, what we gonna do now? Y'all gonna vote for Donald Trump again?
That's a fact. Now, I ain't gonna lie. He's going to their presidency. Like, why though? Because of stimuluses, all that stuff, the money he.
That's the only reason why y'all doing it, because the trends of stimulus, bro.
Yeah, no cap.
Like, y'all don't really
stimuluses got paid back on the back end when it came to gas prices, the economy, the taxes, everything with inflation going up. Like, we got $1,200, and I'm pretty sure you spend more than $1,200
on gas and rent.
Yeah, just in general. So yeah, inflation's a motherfucker. Like, you used to be able to go get a house or go get an apartment for less than 18 to 2 bands, and because the city is getting bigger and better and stuff like that. Like, it's hard to live, and a lot of people are just working to live, and it's more to life than that because you have to experience, and it's hard to experience when, again, you got 168 hours a week. If you take 8 hours a day to sleep, 8 times 5 is 40. Follow me on the numbers. That's what? 128 hours. If you work, when you go to sleep, if you work 40 hours a week, you got what? 70 some hours left to work. 70 some hours left in the week. If you got 70 hours left in the week, and we just talked about sleeping and working, what are you doing with the last 70 hours? 72, you got time for yourself, time to expand your horizons.
We're watching TV and scrolling.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, everyone's on the gram. Everyone's on all social medias. But when do you take that time to wonder about life? When do you like to pour into yourself? When do you start to elevate your brain? Like, when do you start... Yeah, like, okay, cool, you go to the gym, you got to eat, you got to take a shower and stuff like that. But what about what's next? What about what's else? Like, what about the other stuff? So, if you guys time is of the essence, and we don't have a lot of time. Like, we have the same 24 hours every day, and also time is being made to me. So, like,
I was about to say,
I don't even want to go down that road.
Nah, we can go there because to be honest, I stopped caring about time. Like, I couldn't even tell you what today is, to be honest. Like, that's be cool. Real shit. If it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't know what day today is. I realized this, bro. As a human being, we could say time is short, but time isn't. It doesn't exist, bro. You gonna live as long as you need to live. You got your entire life. You got one life or multiple timelines or multiple lifetimes, right? But on some real shit, spend more time understanding yourself. Spend more time understanding the world. We spend so much time being distracted on things outside of us that we don't even know who we are. We follow these trends and then we become these trends. Yeah. You become so emotionally attached to politics and Cardi B. Shout out Cardi. Hey, Cardi. Shout out to all this, or following these dramas, following all this bullshit that you become a part of it and you lose track of yourself. What they don't realize is these are physical and mental matrices and you lose track of yourself. A lot of us don't even know who we are. You don't even realize that your flesh is an avatar and you being controlled by your spirit. Your spirit is your true self, which has no sex, no shape, and it probably doesn't even have a name. Like, that's what's crazy. We don't realize that. But yet, we sit here and we fall into these matrices, we fall into these boxes, and then we become distracted, and then we've been distracted so long, right? You sit in front of the TV, but you don't realize that you're just being distracted and waiting to die. It's like waiting in line, and at the end of the line, it's fire, and you're going to die. You distracted. You're not even realizing who you are. Ask yourself a million questions. Who am I? Why do I have these hands? Why do all these lines exist?
Why do I like what I like? Why do I react to
what do I like?
Yeah. What
that's
do I like
what's crazy.
Do? What's actually fun to me? What
who
do I enjoy?
Am I?
Now, that's a fact. When you start going on that self journey and start really looking at who you are as a person and what you want to be like and who you are, your true essence of self, it's very enlightening to see all the distractions. And, for example, like, all right, cool. Weed. I put weed down recently, and
same.
Yeah, I put weed down in December for real.
And I did it January.
Okay, cool.
I'm done.
Yeah, same. Like, yeah, it's can't touch me, can't get to me. Like, I'm good off the weed, and don't get me wrong, right? So, I'm an ambivert. I'm very introvert and extrovert same time. I'm a high energy person. I can talk to people, stuff like that. So with weed, the way my brain works, sometimes like I be needing to slow down. It'd be hard for me to get this shit out. So it's like you'll get caught in that mood of all I want to do is chill, and it'll be years. It'll be years of you smoking all the time. You'll be wasting your finances. Like, how did I have $1,000 a month to smoke a QP? I had great numbers. Like, again, everybody gonna kill me. Like, oh, you could have been getting it for the low. Yeah. I have $1,000 for weed, but I didn't have $1,000 to invest into my business. That's hustling backwards. So when I looked at who I was and what my priorities were, and I didn't have it together, it's like, you know what? Let's X some of these things out. And there's nothing wrong with people who self-medicate and stuff like that, especially if it's natural and helps you.
Weed has good. It has good things. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like the thing about it is like what we don't realize is that with everything we tend to abuse it, right? Yeah. Like even going to the gym, I catch myself over abusing going to the gym. I play 2K. I'm that nigga in 2K. I cook anybody in 2K, but to be honest,
I don't know.
I abuse these things, and I have to catch myself abusing it. Like I said, you become these things. These are trends and matrices also. You became that smoker, and what you didn't realize is that you was devoting your time into that, and you were spending less time being you. So like with weed, the reason why I gave it up is because I want to be high on life, on me.
That's a fact, though.
I want to know the natural person that I am, and through meditation, I can feel the same way that I felt when I was on weed. I can feel good and happy about life without smoking weed now. And like, I might go back to smoking weed every now and then, but I don't want to be an abuser. You can't be addicted to it, but you can abuse it. You can abuse everything. If you binge watch movies and Netflix and abuse eating and all this, you're going to become unhealthy. So if you think about it, you abuse weed and then you become unhealthy, like in life, not just in your body, but unhealthy habits. You might sleep more. You might overeat. You might overthink. You might oversleep. All these things, you become abusive. And that's the thing. Like,
we got to learn how to use things in moderation.
Facts. Just use it when you need it.
Yeah, but also because it becomes such a it's a stigma and a nigga like, oh, I got the most weed or I got the best weed. I smoke the most. I smoke a 3.5 in a fucking backwood. And then like, I mean, come on, everybody got the sprinkles, everybody got the new rapper this, everybody got that, and it'd be a competition. There's so many competitions just so for no reason though. We trying to keep up with the Joneses when those people in the let's say some of the social figures that you have and who you monitor or model your life behind, they're paid by sponsors and partnerships and things like that to advertise these things. And they're not probably like if they're abusing it too, that's on them. Like again, just when it comes to self, bro, don't abuse a lot. You have to learn how to use things in moderation and learn what's your tolerance level and just how to sometimes take a back step. Because like, all right, cool. We can say that weed is not addictive, but there are some people who are addicted to weed. Like I know if I say, hey, I bet for right now, I challenge the viewers to go cold turkey for a month to just stop smoking. A lot of y'all would be like, oh, I could do that anytime because it's not addictive and stuff like that. But because the tendency that we have to continue on what you've been used to doing, it's going to be hard because you don't have the willpower and the strength to just stop because you're going to feel like, oh, I'm so used to what I was doing in the morning. I had to smoke a blunt in the morning before I eat, after I eat, and such like that. Like, can you continue to do your regular day habits without that same blunt? And the answer is yes, but do you have the willpower mentally? Because it's up here as well. It's a trifecta. You have your mental, your physical, and your spiritual. So when all them three things aren't aligned for real because you're pouring so many drugs or so many different things into yourself, it's like, what are you really doing? So you got to really be self-centered and have it all together. So yeah, my word to everybody using drugs, drinking, TV binge watching, even the people who be in the gym with 1% fat and you feel like, oh, I'm not going to get these views unless I have that same 1% fat. It's like moderation. Keep it all in moderation because again, like, bro, it's unhealthy. Like some of these things aren't in place for that. And a lot of these things are good for us, but we use it too much. So yeah, don't use, not abuse. That's the word.
Facts.
Let's see what else we got on this motherfucker. Cause
we gotta go deep now.
All right, cool. Does your childhood trauma play a role in who you are today?
Absolutely. The reason why is if you think about it, a lot of us, those habits that we talk about, we develop them based upon our trauma. Like even my wife, right? Like I tell people this all the time. Like me and my wife, like we soulmates. Like I know that. You know, I ain't gonna tell y'all why, but I know my wife is my soulmate. But not only that, so based upon my trauma and her trauma, my wife depends on me to be available. She had a great dad who always provided for her. He makes a lot of money. But the fact that he was never available to establish a relationship with her has created trauma in her life. So therefore, she depends on me all the time. If my wife calls me right now, I'm gonna pick up on the first ring. It doesn't matter what I'm gonna do or what I'm in the middle of doing. Sorry. Yeah. When it comes to me, I have abandonment issues and I have mommy issues. So a lot of times I need my mom. I need my wife to comfort me. I didn't have those things with my mom.
Reassurance is a motherfucker.
Fact. So I need my wife to do a lot of things. And like some people can, say what they want, but with me and my wife, we have that understanding that I can rely on you, like, and not abuse her, like, oh, you need to stay with me because of this. No, I need to rely on her because that trauma has affected me, and I'm still healing from that shit. Like I didn't have conversations with my mom about this shit, and she did her best, but based upon my life, there are a lot of things that are based upon trauma. That's the reason why, like, now I do shadow work. And I learn why am I the way that I am? Why am I aggressive towards other men? Why can't no nigga tell me the shit? Because I have trauma from my dad. All these different things. Even like, I don't even like screaming. I don't like confrontation. I don't like these things because of my trauma with my dad. So trauma plays a big role in my life. Like even my kids don't go to regular school or they're homeschooled because when I went to school, my teachers used to pick on me. Like I used to I was a class clown, but I always felt like the teachers needed to single me out because maybe sometimes I get bored. Like I don't like math. I'm an English type of guy. Like I like reading and stuff. Uh-huh. But my teachers used to pick on me. And then one time one of my teachers said to my mom is like, oh, he's the type of kids that they make jail cells for. And I was in 3rd grade. And I told myself, I don't want my children to go to school where they feel like they're a bad kid. Like that bad kid mentality when I was a kid or when I was a child, my aunts, they used to be like, oh, you a bad kid. That developed into me being a bad teenager, developed me into being a bad man, which contributed into my depression, which developed me to believe that I was a bad human being. And then I killed myself. Like, that's what's so crazy is like, we don't realize a lot of things that happen to us as a kid. They transpire and they progress all through our entire life, and we think that we're a certain type of way, but it was instilled on us, and then we accepted that for who we are. Like, I accepted that I was a bad kid, so that developed me into being a bad man. When I'm still a kid, bro.
Yeah, you just learn it. You don't, sometimes you didn't know any better and stuff like that. God. So I like that a second ago that you were able to speak and you're secure. So yeah, so some of these topics for some people is going to be just like, huh, what they talking about? This shit kind of like, but look, when you're securing yourself, you're able to speak about your past. Like, for him to say that he had mommy issues and he knows that his woman is his rock, he can rely on her to be available for his needs, stuff like that, because they have that understanding. It's like, people aren't even in these relationships having these conversations and don't even have themselves together. Like, people, I feel like let me get that together. We looking for love in the wrong places. So you have to, one, you got to love yourself. And how is going about your day saying, oh yeah, I got it together, and faking the funk, loving yourself? No, like your childhood trauma, things you did not get. Like, so cool. My mom and my dad wasn't there. So shoot, she took me all types of places. She took and did as much as she could with me. But my mom didn't have all the time in the world. She still had to work. She still had to provide. So I didn't get that nurturing and that love that I need sometimes. So like my love language is physical touch and quality time. Like growing up, I learned that, I like hugs and I like my hand to be held and stuff like that. So I mean, you're not getting that from your mom, but shit, you get what I'm saying? So like, you also said, reassurance. Like, so I said reassurance, like, as a man, it's hard, or even just as a person, sometimes just like when you get compliments, how do you feel? Are you receptive of them, or are you not, because you're not used to someone telling you, I'm proud of you, because that's your pride, and you've never had anyone tell you like, oh, now what you're doing is actually good and you feel great and it's okay, because we're so taught to be hard on ourselves and to be our toughest critics. So if someone tells us something negative, we don't have to receive it in that same negative manner, and we can just have that defensive wall up. So, I mean, yeah, reassurance. A lot of people never really got reassurance growing up. And I learned, like, for myself, like, I second guess myself a lot. Like, I hear that, I do things very easily and it just comes to me naturally and stuff like that. And I've been battling who I am as a man growing up and, like, what I want for myself moving forward in life, because I'm not going to repeat the same negative processes and the negative same traits that I had as a person. And it's like, sometimes it's like, yeah, y'all saw that cool finesse person. Y'all saw how cool shit was and how I could click this fly shit. But was I really happy? Was I really doing what I wanted to do at that time and stuff like that? So it's like when I'm trying to find and better myself now, sometimes I need my friends, the people around me, my support system to be like, nah, you got it, bro. You just tripping. You just kind of psyching yourself out, because mentally we'll be our hardest critics. And you got to learn, instead of being your hardest critic, be your number one fan. That's my message to you.
On God. Yeah. So better what I was saying, like a lot of us, when we talk about loving yourself, you got to sit by yourself. Learn how to be alone. And when you sit by yourself and you're alone, right? One of the things that I tell people all the time, like I learned from myself, is that I hate using these terms. God would strip you of everything that you have to build a relationship with God. And I'm going to say it again, is God is within you. So when you lose everything in your life and you're going through trials and tribulations, and you might lose your car or your house or lose a relationship or whatever, right? And be lonely, that's your opportunity to strengthen your relationship with God, which is in you, which is by yourself. That's how you learn who you are. You'll search within yourself. You'll start doing things by yourself. You'll start figuring out like who you are. Okay, I like going on walks. I like just sitting here. I like just hearing myself think. I like reading. I like seeking knowledge. Facts. I wonder, why are the stars this way? Why is the sky this way? Why is the earth all water? Why is the human body majority water? Like all these things, and don't put me onto the facts and like, oh, he's wrong, this, and that. But just ask yourself all these questions. Being alone will strengthen your relationship with God, which is inside you, which will teach you how to love yourself. That's like, I've learned that myself. Like, I went through depression. I didn't die. I done been resuscitated. I done been a vegetable for 2 weeks. I didn't realize all this only for me to build my relationship with God once again, with this inside you. That's your connection to the higher power. I don't even use or like to use God because our subconscious instantly puts an image of a man in the clouds that resembles Santa Claus. So I don't really like these terms, but the higher power which flows through you, which is connected through you with your soul, like that's your connection to God. That's how you find self-love, by being alone. That's how you find God, by being alone, by yourself, no outside influence, only you. So yeah.
Nah, yeah, that's real shit. The first step is, like you said, loving yourself, and it has to be more inner than outer. So it might look good on the outside, but what does your insides feel like? How are you treating yourself? What are your hobbies? What are the things that make you you? So also, it's okay to redefine yourself. Like, we're under this misconception, like, oh, I am who I am, and then you will believe these lies. Like, how many times have you lied to somebody and you've said it so much, or you went over the lie so much that you really believed it? So we'll lie to ourselves, we'll believe those same lies, and we'll go under that lie and thinking that's really the truth of who we are until we get a reality check. So it's okay to, make mistakes. It's okay to have it wrong, because no one's perfect. None of us are ever going to be perfect, because he himself is the highest and the most, the greatest. He's going to be the only perfect thing out here in this world. So when it comes to ourselves, like, we're going to make mistakes, we're going to fuck up and stuff like that. So it's okay. But once you do your best each time and learn from each lesson, that's all you can ask for. So self first, and the outer will come too. So, or you can do it vice versa, however each is your own. All right, cool. When people, so some of y'all need to learn how to be by yourself. So like, when you're looking for other people, like the love, I want to talk about ghosting. What do you think the effects of ghosting people are? And yeah, like, if you ghost somebody, how do you think that affects the other person? And do you think that's fair?
Some people would say it's unfair. Like, I stopped looking at life that way, as like fair and unfair. I'm learning how to go to beyond duality, so good versus bad. What I will say is that what we need to understand is that if someone ghosts you, then chances are the relationship or the connection is done. So you have to learn how to accept it. Most people, we try to like force a lot of things. Like with ghosting, if somebody doesn't respond, I ghost a lot of people all the time because I'm more committed to myself than outside sources. Like, a lot of times I don't respond to people and people take it offensive, like, oh, Tuesday don't fuck with me and this and that. But it's not that. The fact is that I have something and I'm on a journey of myself. Yeah. So I might have to ghost you. I love you. I fuck with you. But at that point, I use this analogy all the time. I say, imagine we're planets, right? I'm a planet. You're a planet. We can go years without orbiting each other or being close to each other, right? Yeah. But once we orbit each other or align, I'm going to get what I need from you. You're going to get what you need from me. And we're going to go on our journey. Like, it's no issue. Like, we have to accept that. Right.
And it's crazy that he said that, because when people align and they connect, and they could it feels like you could just pick up where you left off. All the time. And it's a natural, organic thing. And what I want to say is that, like, when you have these organic and like, so law of attraction is a thing to me. And when you have these organic, natural relationships, it's like, I'm huge on love and just the way you treat someone and reciprocating it, because you never know how, because we're all connected. So you never know who they know or who we all are intermingled with and how we are interconnected. So it's like, again, yo, bro, that shit is crazy how you talk like for self and just like being selfish. And some like we gotta change the word. Like being selfish is okay. You just have to make sure that you're not being selfish to the point where it's just like you're not respecting the relationships that you have with certain people in the way it should be, because you don't want to negatively, like, you don't want to put yourself first and then be narcissistic and things like that. Because I mean, come on now, like, it's okay with finding self and being better with yourself and choosing yourself, because you have to choose yourself, because at the end of the day, who has your back first is going to be you.
I was gonna say that, like, one thing about like my marriage, and people always ask like, how does me and Lydia's relationship work? And it sounds fucked up sometimes, right? But to be real, you have to put yourself first. That selfish bullshit was created by whoever came up with that term to make people stop caring about themselves and put other people first in the world. When it comes to my life, it goes me, my wife, my children. Me is in the same connection as God for me, right? And I have to do things for myself to make myself happy, because if I don't make myself happy,
Thanks.
I cannot make my wife happy. And if we're not happy together, we cannot make our children happy. I'm going to say that again. Like, some people look at it as a certain type of way, but it goes you, your significant other, your children, not your children first, because you could put your children first and be miserable in your relationship, and then your children see that and then they're fucked up. So you gotta put you first, your significant other, and then your children. That's just how it has to work. Shout out to the single moms though. Keep doing your thing.
Nah, yeah, so it's lit because for you to say that, right? So when you take care of yourself first, that's your individuality.
Facts.
And people fuck up when they get in a relationship that is just so much about the other person that they lose themselves and they lose the individuality. So it's like, I had to tell a person one time, they was like, yo, what about me? It's like, look though, I have to be the best me.
Yep.
You have to be the best you.
Facts.
And we meet in the middle.
Facts.
And when we are doing us, that's what we doing. I can't do me and we at the same time. It don't work like that. So there's times where isolation, when I like to go be by myself, or I need that space to go create, or I need space to just get my thoughts together. I just need space because
you just need to be you.
Literally, yo, bro, like, it's that simple. Like, you go out, you should not be in a relationship where if you feel like every time you leave your significant other, it's a problem. Or if you're doing things that usually used to make you happy, but now you're with this person, you can't do those same things, and that's a problem. That's not a healthy relationship. That's not good, because you're losing your individuality and you're doing things based on what your partner's wants and needs are. But what about your needs? And they're always going to be second to them. And then there's emotional abuse, and then there's manipulation that comes into play and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of people look at relationships as ownership. And
wow.
Those are destructive, toxic relationships. I don't own you. You have to realize this.
Yeah, I always said that.
When it comes to you and your life, who's the main character? You?
Facts.
Or your girl?
That's me. Like,
is you?
It's my video game. Is I'm the main character.
Okay, so if this is a video game, this is a Matrix. Shout out to all the people who disagree, but this is a Matrix.
Teachers
right?
wrong.
This is GTA. I'm the main character. My wife is my supporting character. In her story, she's the main character.
Facts.
So what we have to realize this: you have to put yourself first and have a relationship with you. Right? I gotta have a relationship with me, and then we have to coexist. So you have to have an individual life within your relationship.
Facts.
And a life together. It's not about just sharing a life and you do whatever this person says you do. Like, no, you do what you want to do. It's about what you want. The fact that I want to spend time with my wife every day is my free will. If I decide, hey, I want to go to the park right now and be by myself, I have the free will to do that, and you should. It's not about why you want to be alone. Are you cheating? At that point, you
gotta get up out of there. You need an exit plan. Y'all need to have a conversation, because that's a problem.
It's so bad, because then you look at your partner as you own them. Like, when we check each other's, like, we don't do that in my marriage. I don't check my wife's phone, because it's like, this is free will, right?
Facts.
God gave us free will, right? We can agree on that. So it's like this: if my wife cheats on me, I don't want to know. I'm not gonna search. I'm not gonna go through her phone. I don't care who she likes somebody's post on Instagram. I don't care if she follows somebody. It's as simple as this, because if I spend my time searching to make sure that my wife is not cheating on me, then I am not loving her to the best that I can. Like, does that make sense? I'm too busy being a fucking detective and worrying about if she's cheating on me that I'm not enjoying her. I need to enjoy my wife. If she cheats on me, she cheats on me. The moment that I find out, that's the moment that I can make the decision to either work it out with her or leave, vice versa.
Nah, for sure. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So, it's just like, so like you said, we have free will and I don't control you. So it's like when I'm with somebody, you know what I like, you know what I respect from you, what I expect from you, how I'm going to respect you. So, I can't be with you 24/7. I'm not going to be holding your hand throughout life in every single second of the day and everything you do. You're going to like, yo, we can go out to a club or something and you're going to have conversations if someone walks up to you. That's not my job to be like, oh, I wonder what they're doing, because you're missing the moment. So you're supposed to have a person who respects you enough to treat you how you treat them and hope that they have, like you say, your best interest at heart and the relationship at heart. Because if we both want these things, we both want it to work. So if cheating is out for both of us and we don't want each other to cheat, then you just hope for the best and that know that, like, if things happen or if she does cheat, like you said, like, I can make that decision. But you also get that fucking plausible deniability when you walk into a situation and say, I did my best, I did everything I was supposed to do.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah,
so it's
and
like
you can walk away cleanly.
It's like this. Like, for me, I look at it like this. I'm not worried about if my wife is cheating. If she does, I hope that she has the time of her life, right? But to be real, on some real shit, I make sure that I do myself or do my best, hold myself accountable, because when it all ends, I can say, at least I did my best.
Facts.
And that's what matters. At the end of the day, if you cheat, that's between you and God. I don't want to find out. If I do find out, then I have to
bro,
make the
niggas
decision.
used to look at me, I used to be having conversation. Folks used to look at me like I'm crazy, because it's
I
like,
don't even know.
Nah, for real, like, at the end of the day, if you do something, I'm hoping you don't, like, but nah, God forbid you do. But if you do something, just don't let me find out.
But it's like this.
Ignorance is bliss, low key.
So me and my wife, we talk about it all the time. Like, if you decide, this is the first thing. Most people cheat is because they don't respect their partner.
Okay.
With me and my wife, when we first got together, we established respect. If you disrespect me, we should not be together. That's just what it is, right? Second, if I'm gonna cheat on you, I should just leave you. That's just what it is. I shouldn't go out and do all this and still try to be with you. That's fucked up. It's stupid. It's dumb. But it is what you have to realize. If you can't be man enough to tell your woman, like, look, I'm interested in other women, but I still love you. This is what I need to do, And if she don't accept it, then let her go. Go do what you need to do. There's people out there who accept people
niggas
from
monogamous.
What is it called? Not monogamous, polygamous relationships. So, but that's the thing. Like, you're harming yourself. Do you know how hard it is to balance multiple women? I've done it. Yeah, I didn't had baby moms and fucking 6 girlfriends and all this. Bro, it was so horrible. Yeah. Even on a spiritual level, it was destroying me because I felt like I was dealing with a lot, bro.
And all these different personalities. A lot of situations. Yeah, it's a lot.
Sex is so spiritual. People don't understand that you're sharing spirit. You're sharing energy. You might fuck around with a toxic girl over here, and she dealing with something,
and now she just
being abused, and now you bringing that back to your woman. Like, it's so many levels that go into it. But if you respect the person that you love before you cheat on them, let them go. Let them go. That's respect. And then y'all can come back together and say, all right, well, hopefully, I had to get that out of my system. Maybe we can work this out. It's about respect. And a woman will love you more if you do it that way than to go out and cheat on her. And then y'all have like this ownership or this demanding ass relationship. At least that's my take on it.
No, that's some real shit. I can agree and meet you right there in the middle, because that's a fact. You said something like, if people would, like, let's say you a dude and you with your girl, they call it being player, where you can talk to your girl and be like, I like someone else, and she's gonna have that decision to choose. Real shit, bro. A lot of niggas ain't player. A lot of you niggas do not keep shit P and don't know what that means. Like, that honesty and that just being upfront, like, I've had one person straight up be like, you tell me honestly what's going on with you and everything. You ain't got to fake the funk. Like, I'm going to respect you way more and I'm going to fuck with you way more. And then that allows me to make the decision if I want to fuck with you still. The problem that we having is we so selfish with our wants. We want everything. So you not doing your truth part of it. You not doing the keep it P where you telling them so now they can decide. No, you want to control the situation. So you lie, you manipulate the situation, you try to cover your tracks so you can get all the things you want. But that's not really what it's about. So if you can figure out a way to be like, stop lying to people and just do the best. Do some good shit, bro. Like keep shit P and actually tell them what's going on. Like niggas don't polygamy. Like yeah, niggas don't know how to be monogamous and that shit is out. That shit is weird. I don't know how people don't know how to have one person, one girl. Like you can try to have all these 3, 4, 5 bad girls if you want, but come on, bro. When it comes to having some real life shit on the long haul, when it comes to everyone wants a relationship, everyone wants to be married, high key, or have a family or things like that. But how you gonna want them things if you're not practicing how to be that person or how to even instill that in yourself? So when you get to that relationship or that stage, you can be that for them. So it's a lot of things that like niggas need practice on, niggas and women. And I like to say niggas because I mean everybody's a nigga to me. So I mean no matter if you white, black, brown, blue, purple, you might be the color orange, my nigga. Like everybody, it don't matter your ethnicity, your age, your race, none of that shit. That's just the words I use.
Oh God.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. We've been knocking shit out.
We could talk about like let's close it out though, cause this shit gonna be long as fuck. It's gonna have to be like 4, maybe like 4 episodes, or we put a joint on like my shit and one on yours type shit.
Cut this motherfucker up and how we do it. So, one, I'd like to say thank you so much again for having me because this has been great. I really do appreciate 1, the collab, the look, the opportunity. 2, for having me in your humble abode. 3, for sharing with my viewers as well and sharing with the other creative and like-minded people. What's one thing that you want to share with others that you may not have been able to get out?
Man, it's a lot I could tell you guys, but you know, if you tune into my podcast, you understand that I always tell you to search within. If you're looking for answers, hopefully that this piques your mind. Hopefully that this strives or directs you to strive and search within yourself. It's about you. Your journey, your reality is all about you. It's not about me. Don't look at me as an example or the person you want to be. Use me as a tool to go back to yourself and keep on moving. Like strive and ask more questions for you. That's my thing. This shit get deep with me, bro. We can sit here for like 7 hours. Yeah. But man, if you're looking for light, you're looking for love, this is the podcast that you need to be listening to. My name is Tuesday Night Swim. If you fuck with this episode, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and just hit the bell and set a reminder, man. Big Swim.
Hey, thank everybody who tuned in to the School of Finesse, the highly emotional podcast. Thank you for catching the lesson. Even if you didn't know you enrolled today, you enrolled and you caught some food for thought. You caught some, you might have even wrote some notes down. We appreciate you. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Please tune in for the next episode and please keep tuning in for every lesson and message that we have for you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.